Okay, turn 4 for the United Kingdom, South Africa, and Canada. UK Atlantic still obviously can't buy anything because its capital is taken. But UK Pacific has 10 IPCs to spend. They're going to buy 2 infantry and an artillery. South Africa saved some money last time and gained some territory, so they have 14 IPCs to spend. They're going to buy a tank, an artillery, and a mechanized infantry. Canada has 7. They're going to buy a transport ship. There are several attacks happening in this round. First off, the Canadian unit in Gibraltar is going to hop on the boat and take Algeria. Down in Africa, the South African unit from Anglo-Egyptian Sudan is going to attack French Equatorial Africa along with the strategic bomber and the mechanized infantry from Egypt. The South African unit in Kenya is going to walk into the Belgian Congo, and there will be an amphibious assault on the Tanganyika territory with an infantry and an artillery from Persia, which will get onto the South African transport in C-Zone 80 and go to C-Zone 72 and offload there. In the east, we have some attacks. Hunan will be attacked with an infantry and an artillery from Yunnan. Guangxi will be attacked with a mechanized infantry and artillery, a tank, a fighter, and a tactical bomber. There will be an amphibious assault on Sumatra with an infantry and an artillery from India. And Canada is going to walk into Siam and take Siam. I didn't put a marker there yet, but I will in a sec. I think that that's all of the proposed combats. So let's roll some dice. Okay, in French Equatorial Africa, the British are coming in with a strategic bomber and a mechanized infantry, and the South Africans are supporting the attack with an infantry. So it's 2 1s and a 4. Hit. Versus an Italian mechanized infantry at 2, and it missed. So the South Africans and British take the territory, and because the British don't have any money, the South Africans will claim the territory and get the income. Because the attack on the Tanganyika territory, the South African transport ship, the HMSAS Afrikander, is dropping off an infantry and an artillery from the Far East Command. So it's 2 2s versus a 2. 2 hits. Italy defends. Miss. Okay, so the United Kingdom claims the territory. Now, it's unfortunate that the way the rule works here, these are Far East Command units, so I should be able to give this to the Far East Command. But because they're on the Europe side of the board, it has to go to the Europe side. But that's unfortunate. I would change that rule, but that's what the rule is right now. So Italy loses the money and England gains it, but they don't get a chance to collect because they can't collect right now. Okay, in the battle for Hunan, infantry artillery versus tank. Hit. That was lucky. Hit. So a British lose an infantry, but they take the territory. It's the battle for Guangxi. British are coming in with an attack bomber, a fighter, a tank, a mech infantry, and an artillery. So that's a 4, 2 3s, and 2 2s. 2 hits. So the Japanese lose 2. They're defending with 4 infantry and an artillery. No hits. That's very good for the English. Okay, again. 2 hits. That's all the men. 1 hit. I think we'll lose the mech. 1 hit, that's all we needed. So the English take the territory and liberate it for the Chinese with 1 casualty. Okay, this is the amphibious assault on Sumatra. The HMS Glenurn transport ship is dropping off an infantry and an artillery. This is probably not a great attack, but we'll see what happens. 1 hit. No hits. That's excellent news. So we have a shot here. 1 hit. They've taken the territory. And with no casualties. Wow, Japan didn't put up much of a fight there. So Sumatra is now British. Okay, non-combat. The 2 British transports that were in Sea Zone, I think it's 97, are going to move to Sea Zone 98. The strategic bomber that participated in the French Equatorial Africa attack will land back in Egypt. And way down there in South Africa, that mechanized infantry is going to move into Southwest Africa as a bit of a blocker there. In the Eastern Theater, an mechanized infantry and a tank from India are going to move to Yunnan. The anti-aircraft artillery that's in Yunnan is going to move to Guangxi. The fighter, now this was a mistake because this wasn't in the thing, but there was supposed to be a fighter in the Hunan attack. I moved him anyway. I'm going to land him in Yunnan. And then the 2 fighters that participated in the Guangxi attack are going to go back to India. So we'll tidy all this up and be back in a sec. Placement of new units. The Canadian transport is going to go in Sea Zone 106. Down in South Africa, they're going to put the 3 units in the only places they can go. So that's artillery, tank, mech, and then over in India, we have a artillery and 2 infantry. Okay, let's do the stuff over here that we need to do in terms of income adjustment. Okay, Japan is going to lose 2, and China is going to gain 2 for Guangxi and Hunan. So if we go 53 to 51, and then China goes 9 to 11, they're going to lose 4 for Burma, which goes to the UK, Pacific. So that's 51 to 47, and then UK Pacific goes from 7 to 11. Canada is going to pick up 1 for Siam from the Japanese, and 1 for Algeria from the Italians. So let's figure that one out. Canada up 2 from 7 to 9. Italy down 1. And Japan down 1. And lastly, in South Africa, this is all for Italy. Okay, so South Africa is going to pick up French Equatorial Africa. South Africa is going to pick up the Belgian Congo because it captured it and UK's capital is gone. And then UK just liberates Tanganyika territory. And its rating will go up, but it obviously won't collect anything. So it's +1 UK Europe, +2 South Africa, -3 Italy. So +1 UK Europe, even though they're not collecting. +2 South Africa to 8, -3 Italy, 16 to 13. Okay, so incomes. UK Pacific is up to 11 IPCs. South Africa has 8, and Canada actually has 9 now. So let's do our disposition of forces. In Quebec, 5 infantry. In C-Zone 106, 1 transport. In C-Zone, what is this, 92, 1 transport and 1 destroyer. And in Algeria, 1 infantry. The only other Canadian unit on the board is over here in Siam. There's a Canadian infantry in Siam. Okay, Britain. In C-Zone 97, we have a fully loaded carrier with 2 fighters. We have a destroyer and 2 cruisers. In Malta, there is an anti-aircraft artillery. In C-Zone 98, there is a battleship, and there are 2 transports. In Egypt, there are 3 infantry, 1 mechanized infantry, 1 artillery, and 1 strategic or bomber, in addition to a French unit and 2 Australian units. There's also a bunker there. In French Equatorial Africa, there is a British mechanized infantry and a South African infantry. In Belgian Congo, there's a South African infantry. In Tanganyika territory, there are a British infantry and an artillery. In Southwest Africa, there is a mechanized infantry, and in South Africa, there's a tank, a mechanized infantry, and an artillery. In C-Zone 72, there is a South African transport. In the Pacific Theater, in India, we have a fighter, TAC bomber, 4 infantry, 1 artillery, 1 anti-aircraft artillery, and then a bunch of visitors. There's an Anzac infantry, 2 Dutch infantry, a Dutch artillery, and a Dutch anti-aircraft gun. The Yunnan province of China has a fighter, a mechanized infantry, and a tank. Hunan has an artillery. Guangxi has a tank, an artillery, and an anti-aircraft. I mentioned in Siam there's a Canadian unit. Down in Sumatra, there are 2 units, an infantry and an artillery, and then in C-Zone 41 there is a transport ship. I think that's it. Okay, so the minor allies are next. That's the Anzac, the Dutch, and the French. So we'll see what they get up to, and we'll go from there.